Thank you to all for watching the magazine, but a special thank you to all who appeared on our program. We met some amazing women and men small business owners, musicians, artists, authors, celebrities, all within our community. We were also blessed to win the Hometown Media Award for 2023, giving the magazine national recognition. We look forward to 2026, when we will continue to bring you the best that our community has to offer. So please sit back and enjoy some of the highlights of this past year's programming. Give us an update of what's happening here at the Shepherd Center.
Well, the Shepherd Center has been at this location for a little over a year now, and it's going great guns. We have the community has stepped up for us, and stepped into us here because they really come out for all of our events. We do some free events as well as our featured events. Mm-hmm. And Alyssa was one of our very first cinema featured event.
Okay.
Yeah, it's exciting. We had a screening here of my last short, Sweet Freedom, in November 2nd or 3rd. Yeah, yep. And it was a full house. It was, do you know how many people it was?
It was 150.
150.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So it was exciting, yeah.
Yeah, we had to turn people away, unfortunately.
Well, yeah, you get had capacity.
Absolutely, we have a
that's
capacity.
That's good. It's good to be sold out.
Yeah, yeah, it was really cool. We had some people like my composer came from LA with his girlfriend. There's some of the cast and crew from around here, New Bedford area.
Nice.
Yeah, it was cool.
And then they did a question and answer afterward. That was really, I had people requesting. I shot the video of the question and answer of the whole event of that night, and I had people contacting me saying, "Hey, I want to see it. I want to see it." I said, "Did you buy a ticket?" Yeah. Okay, great. You'll get to see it.
That's awesome. So tell us about Sweet Freedom.
Yeah, so Sweet Freedom is a short film about 28 minutes, and it's a project about a real historical figure from New Bedford. She lived in the 1800s, and her name's Mary Polly Johnson. Okay. She is Black and Indigenous, and she had her own confectionery shop that she built from scratch with her husband, and it was right in New Bedford.
And you wrote a book in this time period.
Oh, I wrote several books in this time period, but the latest book is about the French in New Bedford.
Okay.
And it's the only complete treatment of the French in the area. Prior to that, there had been a small pamphlet of under 40 pages done in 1993, and an article published by Spinner in 1983, but this is a much broader view of the French communities of New Bedford. And I say communities because you had most coming from Quebec, but you also had people from the maritime provinces. You had people coming from France. Those from France or with French nationality came from mainland France, Europe, or the French overseas dominions and territories, mostly islands. Some of those were people of color. You had French-speaking Belgians, and you had French-speaking Swiss. So it was a series of different communities.
Okay, so lots of different migration patterns.
Lots of different migration patterns.
We started this back in, I think, 1981. Okay. Was our first publication. So that year, we formed the idea with myself and Donna Hughes, a sociology professor at UMass Dartmouth. And I was a freelance photographer. Stringer was a couple of newspapers and doing documentary work, photography. And Donna was a social scientist doing oral history and documentary stories of neighborhoods and such. Okay. We were both doing pretty much the same thing, except I was doing it more visually and she was doing it academically. So we got together and both decided that we wanted to really combine it into a format that we could share and distribute and put into the public sector in a way that was nice, keepsake, but important and entertaining. And the first few books were very heavy in photography and oral history. And that was our original mainstay. And from there, we branched out into more historical narratives and projects and documentary projects.
And how has the Cape Verdean culture influenced you?
I mean, I was raised in it, right? And so, I was very fortunate to be able to go to, dances very early in my life, even as a young girl. Heard the music in the home, for most of my life. And sometimes those dances I had to go even though I didn't want to. But I'm sort of glad that I was sort of encouraged to go when I was a young girl. And so it's just the culture. Like we live in. I mean, I'm again born and raised in New Bedford, living in a place where it's so culturally diverse, and where, for me, Cabo Verdean culture began Cabo Verdean American culture began pretty much in New Bedford.
Okay.
So being able to grow up in the culture, know people that all through my life who were sort of promoting the culture, and all of my dad and my aunts and different people were all part of the different organizations and clubs in the Cape Verdean community. I mean, that was my upbringing. That was who I was.
Did you discover the history, or how did it go about?
I understood about the provenance when they started showing it to me. I looked into it a bit. I had this inkling, I don't know why, to have a bed and breakfast long before Airbnb or any of that existed. And I thought that the provenance from the house would be helpful and an interesting aspect also. And the sea and its proximity to Cape Cod and Newport and Boston and so many things here. So, yeah.
And this is the original house.
Yeah.
So, but it's like next door, there's another piece of the house. Is that true?
Right. So the house was built in the early 1830s and was that size. It was built by Franklin Delano Roosevelt's great-grandfather, Warren. Then it was owned by his grandfather, Warren II, who became very wealthy, largely in the China trade. And so he added 2 large wings onto the house. So it became a 30-room, 10,000 square foot house on more than half of this block. So FDR visited while he was president. His mother lived here. It was in the family, called the homestead, for many years, as if your grandparents had a big home on a big lot near the sea. And then after FDR was president, the house was auctioned off.
You're in a great location here, right,
Yes.
on Alden Road in Fairhaven. And tell me about some of the groups that come in here.
So my very first paint night, I was fortunate enough to have 3 women who were clients of Lifestream.
Okay.
And the woman that lived with them worked for Lifestream. So she contacted me shortly after asking if I would start hosting groups.
Wow.
So I started by working with them, and it started with just a few clients that would come. And now that's still one of my main groups. They come in once a month, and we've grown. Some months we have 30 clients that come in.
Wow.
And they come every month. A lot of them are the same ones that come every month. I also do a lot of work with Better Community of Living, which is now down the street on Alden Road. And they bring in groups of all ages. They do the kids groups. I work with them with the kids camps. We do the parent night outs where they allow the parents to just have a night to themselves. So the parents will come in and paint. We do family nights. We do groups for the older clients that are 30 plus. So we kind of cover all the ages with the Better Community of Living group. I also work with MO Life, which is down the street, and during the nice weather, they walk.
That's great. Yeah.
Which is great, and they are so excited. It's so cute seeing them walk down the street.
What did Phase 1 incorporate?
Phase 1 incorporated, finding the right type of light.
Okay.
And many meetings with the historical commission, thinking and looking at lights and, finding a lighting representative. And we found the representative, and when the sidewalks were dug up, we had the conduit put underneath the brick area so we didn't have to disturb the bricks. Once we determined the light and the style,
we went out and we got donations, very generous people in town. This is all town, non-town money. It's all personal money that people thought was entrusted on the project and thought it was a good idea to light up. And so we found a rep, we got all the lights, we did the work, and it was all volunteer work. Everybody donated time, some donated material. Pat Carr donated his heavy equipment, which was, thank goodness, right?
Yep.
And then Frank, myself, Keith, and 2 others, Wayne and Gary, volunteered their time. And we had a good time doing it.
Historical commission. But then they decided that they supposed to have a museum. And then they got this building and then have him participating, in different activities. Since I become involved with it, we really have redecorated and then do exhibitions and lectures. And that is one of the main missions of the society, that we maintain the museum. As you can see, we have different display cases, not only, with the buildings from the town, but also, China trade and, glass. This area was very well known for glass cutting, and so we have different display cases. Plus, like you can see, we have a period room.
Sure.
It is,
great.
It's a wonderful room that represents the 19th century, parlor of Fairhaven. And so that is our activity. Plus, we do, as I said, lectures. Last year we did a fantastic lecture about, Hetty Green that was completely, very well attended. We have more than 350 people that came to the town hall.
That's great. And last year was a big one. It was the 50th.
And we had a great race. It was very successful. We had just under 1,500 register for the race.
That's amazing.
So it was really good. I wrote down some numbers, and out of that 1,500, about 25% were 18 and under age group.
That's awesome.
That was the biggest age group.
That's great.
So the youth are involved, which is a good thing, I think.
That's good. And I noticed on your 50th annual shirts, we have the founder of the Fairhaven Father's Day Road Race. Tell us about our founder.
Well, Alan's been involved with the race since the beginning. I don't think he organized it the first year, but he worked it, and then he took it over. So actually, this would be probably the 50th year that he was head of it.
Okay.
Great personality, easy to work with, a lot of knowledge on how to put on a race, and he's still advising us, even though he's getting older. But he still wants to be involved and is involved. And like I said, just a great guy to work with.
Definitely passionate about the race. When I first started helping him do what he told me, he goes, he's like, this is about the time, it was getting closer to the race. He said, this is about the time where I start having the dreams that we do all the work and no one shows up to the starting line. I'm like, really? So he's like, I hope you don't have those dreams too. But
I do.
I actually had one last year.
Yeah.
So Alan Days has passed on the dreams
the dreams as well.
Yeah.
So first of all, the Cape Verdean Recognition Week has been happening for over 50 years, right?
Yeah.
So I want to always make sure that I give honor to that, right?
course.
So this week is Cape Verdean Recognition Week, all the way up through July 5th, where the parade is happening.
Yes.
That's the sort of the big culmination of the week, right? And then Monday, today, June 30th, however you want to put that in there, is the flag raising. And every year for the last over 50 years, the Cape Verdean and the American flags have been raised at the beginning on the Monday of whenever July 5th is going to happen. So this week it happens to be that July 5th is on the Saturday. That's so amazing, right? That's happening that way. And so that Monday is always when the flags are raised, right? And, I believe that's significant just to let people know that, okay, this whole week is about Cabo Verdean culture. It's all about learning, understanding, and honoring those who have come before us, right? And the contributions that have happened in the city, in this region, in this state, in this country, right? But for all intents and purposes, it all started in New Bedford.
So what is the Fairhaven Cultural Council?
Well, we're trying not to be the best kept secret in the town. we exist for a really good purpose. We exist to fund cultural activities in the town that will enrich the lives of Fairhaven citizens. And by the state law, we're mandated to focus on projects in the arts, humanities, and interpretive sciences.
Okay.
And we're able to do what we do because we're part of the local cultural council program.
Now, what's the local cultural council program?
It is the largest grassroots funding network in the nation, and it's very unique to Massachusetts. It was incorporated in Massachusetts general law in 1982.
Do other communities have cultural councils?
They do. All 351 towns and cities of Massachusetts have a cultural council representing them.
So Zoe has always been a kisser, and my sister, 2 years ago, it's been just about 2 years exactly, she came to me with a picture of a husky in like a box, and it said kissing booth. So I said, that gives me an idea. So I went to Stan & Paul's. I got one of their refrigerator boxes, which they have, put it together within half an hour, and the rest is history. So we started doing the Fairhaven Marketplace at the high school. Again, we started just about 2 years ago, and as of our last gig, we did one this past Saturday in North Fairhaven. We've raised $2,303 for the animal shelter.
That's amazing.
So how it works is that it's $2 a smooch, and again, it all goes to the animal shelter.
Well, it's a great concept, and it's great to do this for the animal shelter as well. And I think that people really appreciate that.
The looks on the kids' faces, Charlie, is amazing, and the looks on the adults' faces. That so many times I'll hear, "Oh, you made my day. You made my day. I got my puppy fix."
Yeah.
So it works both ways.
I started Sipazine in 2023 with the idea we really needed to raise and shine a spotlight on all the literary and the artistic creativity that's on the South Coast. Now, the real backstory is that I live in Marion, and of course that's where the Sippican River comes out.
Okay.
So Sippican Magazine.
Oh, I love it.
But it didn't take too long after I started talking to people. They're like, it just can't be Marion or the Sippican watershed. You've got to think bigger than that. And I'm like, well, let's go South Coast then. Because it's amazing how many people are using their professional time, their personal time, to create, and we don't know about it. Kind of like your show. You make things happen, you let people know what's going on with the show, and you spread the word. So that's what Sipazine's about.
There's a lot of talent in the South Coast area.
Oh, it's amazing. And the history of talent in the South Coast, whether coming by or coming by and stopping and staying, is really strong. So I figure let's keep it rolling.
So how many magazines have you had so far?
We have had 5 issues so far. And it's interesting because in the beginning, I didn't want it to be a print magazine. I wanted it to be only online because we're all walking around with phones and tablets and things. We know where print has had a tough time. Very quickly, everybody said, this is cool, but I want to read it in person. So it's complicated things a little bit because it's kind of like 2 different scenarios. But so you can read it online for free. You want to hold a copy. It does cost. And that just helps pay for the expenses of moving forward on Sipazine.
Yeah, I played for Haven High. We had a pretty good team. Back then it was the Cape Way Conference.
Okay.
And we ended up winning the Cape Way Conference. The only thing that we never did was beat Dartmouth on Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Well, we have since, though.
Yes, we have.
So tell us about your college years, and did that continue with football?
Yeah, for a very short segment, and then I hurt my shoulder. Okay. So I transferred back and went to, when I transferred back, I went to UMass Dartmouth for a year, and then Bridgewater. Okay. And I started coaching. I arranged for my student teaching. Back then in physical education, you had to do 2 student teachings, one elementary school, one secondary, and I arranged for my student teaching to be done at Hastings Middle School. Okay. And I was coaching freshman football at the time with Mike Hendricks, and Jim Lanigan was the head coach.
So tell us about some of the championships when you were coaching at Fairhaven High.
Well, we had, I think we had 5 conference championships. Okay. 3 of which we were fortunate to make it to the Super Bowl. And we were 3-0 in the Super Bowl, so that was nice. Absolutely. We missed the first championship. We missed going to the Super Bowl by 1/1000th of a point. Wow. Norwell beat us out by 1/1000th of a point. We didn't know. We had to call the team back Thanksgiving evening because we didn't know. Right. And nobody could figure it out, and the only person that could figure it out was the Boston Globe. And unfortunately, we had the team meeting, and Buddy Thomas was there for the Standard Times. Okay, yeah. And we got the notice that we missed out by
Riverside Cemetery is a historic garden-style cemetery. It was founded in 1850. It's an expression of the community's pride and its heritage. It was created in boom times of whaling and international trade. It reflected the wealth, the sophistication, the connection of the community with some of the leading trends in the management of how to remember our ancestors. So it's a garden cemetery. It was originally developed as a beautiful place for recreation and enjoyment, as well as a place for the repose of the dead. And we think as we continue the traditions of this beautiful, beautiful place of existing in a sacred bond between those who've gone before us, all the people who worked so hard to make this place so beautiful, the predecessors of Cody who've done so much, and the people we don't know who thought through the plantings and the landscape and so forth. And we're honored, Mark and myself and Cody, to continue those great traditions.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. Yes, it is a very special place. I mean, my family is here as well, so I really, and I appreciate Peter, who did a lot for Riverside Cemetery, also Peter Reed.
Peter Reed was an extraordinary fellow. My connection with the cemetery is, my middle name is Delano. Okay. My father lived as a child in the homestead downtown. There actually were living people relatively recently. When I came on the Riverside board, there were people who remembered playing with my dad.
So you're still working on some projects here, though, like The Last Frontier War?
Yeah.
What's that all about?
So that is the title of the project that I'll be doing over there.
Okay,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, The Last Frontier. I came across that, I think, in a historian's paper, like research paper about how the Azores were that last frontier. And when you look, if you pull up the map and you look at where they are, for people who might not know, which is crazy to think that anyone in the South Coast would not, but still, if you zoom out and it's just like this huge, vast blue ocean, and you've got these continents and then little Azores right there. And it's really significant geopolitically for what's happening in World War I, World War II, and it's that last frontier kind of for both sides.
Oh, good.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Well, we're going to be very eager to see how this all comes to play.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
And so you've done something really remarkable for Fairhaven with Discover Fairhaven. And you've done some great projects, and you did an amazing Jaws 50th anniversary. And what's happening? What's coming up?
Yeah, it's been very fun to kind of create that brand of Discover Fairhaven, and just fun, like Jaws. It was perfect timing with the 50th anniversary, me coming on, and so much help too from the selectmen and just different department heads in town and volunteers. So we were able to do this year just a really cool and fun lineup at Fort Phoenix.
Okay.
And bringing new life to Grimshaw Park, which is really exciting.
Huge, and we didn't realize it was that big.
Yeah, exactly. And I think if you talk to any older folks in town, they do remember Grimshaw Clam Bake Pavilion and how awesome that was, and just bringing some of that magic back.
So we're coming up to the 250th anniversary, and Independence 250 is the title of your new calendar. So tell us about the story behind that, and also the pictures that people will see in this amazing calendar.
Yeah, well, the story was, well, again, we were just, trying to theme and for this year's calendar. And I mean, what a better fit than the Revolutionary War since we had the anniversary. The photographic part was tough, because there was no photography 250 years ago. So the way I was looking at the calendar was sort of, something that you could sort of use as like, for tourism. Let's say, so I can go and visit this site. It still exists. There's still something there. That was sort of my thinking behind it. And so I tried to find photos that, represented that, or paintings. And we also have a few original paintings in there too.
That's great. Yes, I'm looking through it. It's quite amazing. So when can people obtain one of these?
Okay, well, it's actually on press right now. I just talked to the printer, so they'll be. We should have them right before Thanksgiving.
Okay. All right. Very good. So that's very soon.
That's very soon. Yeah, a week or two. Yeah.
And once again, how would someone obtain this?
Same way. They can go to spinnerpub.com. They can purchase it locally. Those I don't think we carry on Amazon, but yeah, definitely locally.
Okay, very good. And for about 45 years, you've published another calendar.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that?
Yes, the New England Fisherman Calendar. That one there is it's a tough one. Every year it's getting a little bit tough, but it's a good calendar. It's a great calendar.
Celebration of the industry. That idea came up back in the 80s. I wanted to do a historical calendar, and I just thought celebrating and acknowledging fishing was important at that time. And we had done some articles on the fishing industry, but a calendar was a way to try to expand our base as well. And so we included Boston and Gloucester, and maybe Rhode Island and Maine, especially later. So we included the important ports, Portland, Gloucester, as I said, Boston.
Sure.
And so it's a celebration of New England's fishing industry, not just New Bedford and Fairhaven.